We were happy to attend a celebration and ribbon cutting for Phase 2 of Linear Park, a walking trail which runs along Cross Creek and will eventually end at the Cape Fear River Trail. It was a wonderful event where we were able to celebrate our history, heroes, and hometown feeling.
As mayor, you have great opportunities for ribbon cuttings and special events, and sometimes it's even more special because sometimes you really can see that dreams come true. And that's what we celebrate here tonight. We see a city that's been talking about this park for as long as I've been alive. And now we are here tonight for the second phase. We come even closer to the goal that we set years ago to try to pull it all together, to have green space along Cross Creek, to pull the great assets of our community so that they're connected, people can walk between them. It's a great visionary leadership and a tribute to Harry Shaw and the Linear Park Committee that help us enjoy the beauty of this creek, such an important and historical part of our city. You know, their dedication in raising the funds show us all what we can do when we work together. And I thank each of them who've labored to dig the walkway and renew the landscape, bringing this park to what we celebrate tonight. Tomorrow we can begin the plan for the next phase, but tonight we enjoy what we have before us.
We are here today to celebrate the second phase of the Cross Creek Linear Park, and that is indeed a progressive stride worthy of celebration. We have reclaimed a part of our city, and not only have we reclaimed it, we have enhanced it. It is a pathway from the heart of our city that will ultimately lead people to our river, the Cape Fear, which is so much a part of the landscape of our community's life. This achievement is a culmination of a joint effort that's been underway for about 4 years, probably planning many years before those 4 years. All 4 phases are expected to take about 10 years to complete, and we're at the halfway point with the completion of this second phase. The dedicated people who have made this linear park possible have raised about $1.5 million, and I am sure they will continue to raise the funds necessary to complete the final 2 phases. It is a true partnership, and county government has been a part of that effort, contributing $50,000 to it. However, one cannot think about the linear park or visualize the linear park without thinking of Harry Shaw. I want to publicly thank my neighbor and my friend Harry for his sustained efforts, not to embarrass Harry, but to point out what wonderful things are wrought when leaders like he and the others that make up the Cross Creek Linear Park Corporation come together to work for a worthy cause. Thank God for civic leaders among us. As this linear park grows and extends further, Cumberland County government will be applauding and celebrating right along with the city of Fayetteville. May God bless each of you.
I want to tell you that you are standing in the very heart, one of the most significant historic sites in this community, and I say in this state. It has been hidden and unknown. There's so much to celebrate, so much to remember, and I want to walk you through that. First of all, when the settlers came here, in fact, when the Native Americans lived here, this was a pristine area. The longleaf pines were bigger than you could put your arms around. There are a lot of accounts that talk about the pines that were so thick, and we don't even see them now. We cannot imagine. They were as big as some of the sequoias that we see in California. The Native Americans used this area, they camped here, they used this spring, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and they give us a great legacy today. Cross Creek, or this area, Cape Fear River, this was the terminus of river traffic coming from Wilmington. They could navigate this far up and bring goods and shipment and trade, but they really couldn't go any further. So this was sort of the spot that brought civilization and trade to North Carolina to extend it on throughout the state. But during the American Revolution, this was a hotbed of activity with much divided loyalty. It was here in 1776 that Flora McDonald, who stood on my front yard and waved goodbye to her husband Alan and the loyalists that were going to the Battle of Moore Creek Bridge, and we know what happened there. Look at the area around you. This is the Fayetteville Independent Light Infantry Parade Ground. They were organized in 1793, and their first fifer, Isaac Hammond, is buried over here. There's a stone to his monument, to his memory. Henry Evans, who was a shoemaker and a licensed Methodist minister, came through here by this spring on his way to Charleston. He loved the place so much, he said, I'm going to stay here and minister to my people. But he is the father of Methodism. Both whites and blacks worshiped here. He is also buried in the basement, we think. There's certainly a marker there. On this site was the very heart of this community. Over the years, we forgot the creek and turned our backs on it. Now, if you look at the bridge over here, which is so symbolic to me, it both figuratively and literally reunites our citizens. To me, it is a metaphor of coming together, which we should actively pursue.
Harry Shaw is a one-man army, and it is a distinct honor to introduce to you the man that when the history books are written about these times and these places and this spot, Harry Shaw's name will be written in John Hancock's eyes across it. It's a distinct privilege and honor to introduce to you Harry Shaw.
This isn't about me. You may think it's about me, but it's not about me. Actually, it's about you. I was telling Claire just the other day, I don't believe anybody has ever told me no. Some told me maybe, but nobody ever told me no. And it has been so easy to raise the money for this. And it's going to be so much easier to, because all people have to do is come down and look what we really can do to raise the money for the next two phases. And this is an ongoing project. It's something that we need to continue, and we will. There have been so many people, and I can't name, I'm not even going to start naming them, but I do want to mention Ben Husk. I asked Ben, I said, Ben, we need some help designing our bridges. And I said, Ben, you know how much it costs to pay an engineer to design bridges? He said, yeah, I do. I said, well, how about giving us a little hand on that? He said, well, let me see what I can do. And so he designed these two bridges. It saved us an enormous amount of money. Ben, thank you for all that you've done through the years, and particularly for the linear park. We're going to have a water feature in that circle behind you, and which should be completed by this fall. Now, we are ready to go on to the river. We are ready to move on, and we're going to need your help. We'll be starting a campaign very shortly to raise up to $500,000, and I know that we'll get it, so we can continue our path on to the river and really accomplish something that people in Fayetteville have wanted to for so long a time. And it's really happening. And it's a miracle. It's a blessed miracle. And I thank you all so much, not only for coming out today and celebrating with all of us, but giving of yourself and your money and your talents to make it all happen. Thank you again. Thanks so very much.